Hello everyone and welcome to my class. Now in this video I will be discussing about the chapter 3 Nazism and the rise of Hitler. It is class 9th history. Right. Now our main topic will be Nazi worldview. In the beginning of this chapter itself I have explained this thing that the term Nazism is basically the ideology of Hitler, ideology of hatred against the enemies of the nation. Right, and according to Hitler, it was the enemy of the nation was the Jews. Right. So, in this section, we'll be discussing about the Nazi worldview, his ideology in an elaborated manner. Right. How his ideas of Nazism was spread and was instilled in the minds of the people. So let's talk about the Nazi worldview. What exactly the Nazi means to Hitler and how people started perceiving his ideology. Right. According to Hitler, uh, according to Nazism, that there is no racial equality, means humans belonging to different races cannot be same. And this criteria was according to Hitler, he made a criteria, there should be a racial hierarchy in this society, means those who are strongly built, those who are blonde, blue-eyed Germans, they were considered as the Aryans and they were on the top. They should be placed on the top in the society, whereas the undesirable people, like the physically handicapped, like those who are not physically strong, like the gypsies and the Jews, to whom Hitler considered as inferior, they were placed at the bottom, especially the Jews. Right. So this sort of arrangement were made in Nazi Germany when Hitler was ruling. Those who were considered as undesirable, those who were not needed in the country, should not be given a place in the country. Right. So he emphasized on the racial hierarchy, those who are strong, physically fit, those who are Aryan by birth, German and Aryan by birth, they should be ruling the nation. They should establish a huge empire. Right. And those who are not desirable in the country, those who are the enemies, the Jews, they should be at the bottom. Now Hitler's racism, why this thing came into his mind, why he popularized such idea. He got inspiration from the theories of Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin, he had given the concept of evolution, right, and the natural selection. Now you must have known about the Charles Darwin. In bio portion also you must have studied about the human evolution and all. So he was the person who gave the concept of evolution and natural selection. And Herbert Spencer, another important philosopher who gave the theory of survival of the fittest, means those who is fit to survive in the in a particular circumstances, conditions, they only can survive. Those who can adapt to their natural environment easily, only those can survive for long. And those who are unfit, those who cannot mold themselves according to the environment, their natural environment, then they should not be live, they should not they will not survive. Right. So this was the theory of survival of the fittest given by Herbert Spencer. So he believed that those who are strong, like the German Aryans, they can survive because they have those abilities. Right. They can best suited to their environment, they mold themselves to the environment. If there is any because he was from military background, so his ideology was largely dominated by the military idea. So he had this view that if the nation is attacked by some enemies, then only those people can survive who can stand against them, who can face that challenge. And those who are physically unfit, those who are physically weak, they will not be able to survive. So why to give place to such people who are not physically fit? Right. So, according to these theories, he developed his ideas of Nazism. Then he believed in establishing an Aryan state by eliminating undesirable ones. He believed that in Germany we need to have more German Aryans who are superior, who are strong built, who are physically having good strength, who can face the enemies. Right. So he believed in establishing a huge Aryan state, and this can only be possible when undesirable ones like the physically handicapped, like the gypsies, the Jews, the Polish people, the Russian people. Such people are not required in the nation, so eliminate them. So such people were shifted to concentration camps, right? And if the Polish children, if they are blue-eyed, blonde, then they were snatched from their mothers and then they were tested by the racial experts, and if they don't found the Germans, then these children were sent to the orphanages where they die easily, right? And if they found that they are of German origin, then they were given to the German families where they were raised as strong built Aryans. Right. So this was the trend in Nazi Germany. So this is how he wanted to create a great Aryan state by eliminating the undesirable ones. Here undesirable ones were the weak ones. Those who are physically handicapped, gypsies, Jews, Polish, Russians, such people were considered as undesirable, not desired in the nation. Right. Then Jews were considered as the killer of the Christ, and they were forced to live separately marked areas. Mostly it was out of the cities and the towns, on the outskirts of cities, and they were shifted to such marked areas which were called ghettos, specially meant for the Jews. They were not allowed to enter the cities and towns. So, with inferior quality land, with inferior resources, they were shifted to ghettos, right? They were made separated from the rest of the society. Now, concentration camps were also set up to do the segregation. Means the undesirable ones were shifted to concentration camps. They were not allowed to mix up with the German Aryans, right? And he wanted to establish a racial utopia. Now utopia is basically an imaginary word which means the existence of such a society which is an ideal society, which is a perfect society, right? So he wanted to, but it doesn't exist in reality. Such thing is called utopia, which is in imagination, the perfect one, but it is not existing in reality. So what he tried to make Germany a racial society, where only the strong built German Aryans, Nordic Aryans can live, and rest of the others inferiors, they should be thrown out of the nation. So such society can only be possible through genocide. Now genocide is a term used for killing large number of people of one particular race. So this is what he had done. He used to kill the undesirable ones, especially the Jews. Large number of Jews were killed by the Hitler and his army, right? He killed the Polish people and the Russian people, minorities who are living in Germany. The people from the Poland, they were called Polish, they were called Poles, and the Russians were killed in those who were living in Germany. Such people were forced out of the Germany. They were killed, their properties were confiscated by the Nazi army, and they were forced to leave their properties, their homes, and they were shifted to concentration camps first, and later on they were shifted to the gas chambers where they were killed, right? So undesirable ones were considered racial inferiors. They were seen as a threat to the biological purity of Aryans. If they were allowed to live with the German Aryans, then there is a danger that it can lead to the biological purity of Aryans, right? by if they indulge in the matrimonial alliances with the German Aryans, then the upcoming generations will be considered as impure, right? So these are the ideas of Hitler. Then ghettos and gas chambers worked as the killing field of the Jews. These were the areas where he devised new methods of killing people on a large number, right? And such ghettos, which are usually the outskirts areas of the towns and the cities, especially marked with fences with electric wires so that they cannot run from there. And gas chambers were specially built where many people were placed in small rooms, and poisonous gas was released to kill them. So such things were devised by Hitler for killing large number of people, right? And this was a mission against, especially against the Jews. He doesn't wanted Jews to live in Germany, right? So this is all about his Nazi worldview, his Nazi hatred against the undesirable ones, right? Especially the Jews, right? So this is how he developed a hatred feeling among the German people against the particular races, right? So we'll be continuing with this, and please like, share and review. Do write your comments if you face any problem, and thanks for watching.